Hi, Dick.
How's everyone doing today?
We're doing good. We're gonna open right up here, folks.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, sounds good.
Good afternoon. I'm now gonna call the Wednesday, July 12th, 2022 meeting of the Norfolk County Board of Commissioners into session. Welcome, everyone. We are live and on Zoom today. On Thursday, March 12th, 2020, Governor Charles Baker issued an order suspending certain provisions of the Mass Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. That order was effective immediately until it is rescinded or the state of emergency is terminated. On Wednesday, June 16th, 2021, by action of the legislature, the order was extended until April 1, 2020. Before I take the roll, I'm going to ask everyone to join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the
of the
United States
of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'm going to call the roll. Commissioner Collins,
Present.
Commissioner Stady,
Present.
Commissioner Shea is present. We have a full quorum. Again, I mentioned we are on Zoom and live. I'm here with the county director, the assistant county director, and the business manager of our agricultural school, Mr. Wilson, and we're ready to go. Number one order of business is reorganization of the board for 2022.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to have Joseph Shea continue as the chairman of the Norfolk County Commissioners.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, is there any other nominations? Okay, I'll take a motion to close the nominations for the term of chairman for the session of 2022.
Motion to close nominations, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nomination closed. Okay, on the election of chairman, I think you need to mention the chairman. I'll call the roll. Commissioner Collins,
Yes, I'd like to vote for Joe Shea as chairman of the Norfolk County Commissioners.
Commissioner Stady,
Done an outstanding job this past year under some tough times. My pleasure to vote for you, Mr. Chairman, to continue.
and of course, I'm going to vote for myself. However,
Well done, Joe.
some days I don't want to serve in this chair, but I'm happy to be the chairman to make the turn this year. We have a lot on our schedule. We've created some of this ourselves, and I'd like to see it through. And having said that, we're going to talk about some budgetary items today and set some calendar dates that I hope we can stick to and be as clear on the issues and outgoing as we can be. And we invite everyone's participation. And as we said at the end of last year, it has been a rough year, but a lot has been accomplished, particularly in the personnel area, and we're going to continue. So having said all that, I'm going to open up item number 4. I'm going to wait on motion on our minutes, and then we're going to go right to a presentation from our friends at the Regional Emergency Communications Center in Holbrook.
Joe, before we do the minutes, I know because both Attorney Stady and I, Commissioner Stady and I are both remote, you have my permission to use my stamp in any votes today.
Okay, and how about Commissioner Stady? Do I have your permission?
Permission granted, Mr. Chairman, for any kind of thing that needs immediate execution. You can use my stamp as
I
well.
have a warrant and we have several personnel papers. Okay, but we're gonna present them first. Thank you. Number 4, minutes of the open session meeting of June 5th, 2022 for approval.
That'll be January 5th.
January 5th.
Right. I'll move approval of the meeting minutes of January 5th, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, minutes of the executive session meeting on January 5th, 2022 for approval.
Move approval with the stipulation they not be released until such time as the matter discussed perhaps is it's appropriate. I think that's the correct language. So I move approval of the minutes, but we withhold our release until the appropriate time.
Second.
All right.
Motion made and seconded on the executive section minutes of January 5th, 2022, not to be released at this time. All in favor?
Aye.
And we have one more that were revised minutes of the October 6th meeting of 2021 for approval. They are in order now.
I had a question on that, if I may.
Go ahead,
What-
sure.
Was that something that we, Mr. Chairman, through you, did we take this action and then it was not recorded? Or is this, well, I don't understand what happened there on October 6th.
I'm gonna get a refresher here from Director Cronin.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman. You are correct, Commissioner Stady. The approved meeting minutes as published did not reflect that the vote was taken. However, a vote was taken and now is properly recorded on the amended version.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I'll move then. So I guess we're moving the approval of the revised open meeting minutes of October 6th as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the revised open session meeting of our meeting on October 6, 2021 for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Number 7 is public comment. I'm going to ask now if anyone has any public comment on anything on our agenda. To come forward now and speak, and then I'll also ask Director Cronin if anyone has notified him about wanting to speak at our meeting.
We've not been notified of any
We have
intentions.
not, okay. Okay, last call for public comment. Seeing none, we're gonna move to a 1:10 appointment. We're gonna be right on time. We're gonna be maybe a minute early. We have an appointment today for all with the Holbrook Regional Emergency Communications Center presentation. I believe that, I think it was the request of Commissioner Stady to have them come in, and I'm gonna turn over to him and introduce the folks that are with us on Zoom, and we're going to have a presentation for everyone relative to the Holbrook Regional Emergency Communication Center. Commissioner Stady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. It's my pleasure to introduce Stephen Hook, who's the director of the facility, and Lauren Melke, who's the deputy director, who are with us this afternoon to make a short presentation on the progress they've made. As you probably know by either my own comments and others you've read, is this facility was recently opened at the beginning of last year. And it serves several towns, which I'm sure they're going to tell you all about. They're looking to grow. Their emphasis is on regionalization, which is one of the things we were cited as one of our tenets in the Abraham's report to promote regionalization. I guess the idea too, is Commissioner Collins pointed out to me, is this goes back before my time. In fact, Commissioner O'Brien was a big advocate for it. But this is the new facility, and I think their directors are taking it in a new direction. So I don't want to steal their thunder. I'd like to have them do all the talking, and I can sit back and watch. But I've had the chance to visit it a couple of times. I'd encourage you all to visit it. It's a great facility. It's a great facility, state-of-the-art equipment. And as I said, they're looking for some help, and they're looking to make us aware of what they're doing. So with that, with your permission, I'll turn it over to Director Hook and Lauren.
Go ahead, Stephen, and introduce us to whoever you have with us. With you.
So, Mr. Chair, we appreciate the opportunity to speak. Thank you for the invite, and Director Cronin and the other commission members. So, I'm Stephen Hook. I'm the Communications Director here at the Holbrook Regional Communications Center. Next to me is Lauren Melke. She's the Deputy Director. We have been in the, I've been doing this for 30 years in public safety. I started here in Holbrook back in 1993. And we built this center, you know, when I started, there were 4 dispatchers. Today we have 44, I believe. So it can, Mr. Chair, is it okay if I share my screen? I know you guys have a big agenda today, and we'll be.
Whatever you want, Steve. We've allowed some time, and we're anxious to hear from you. So go ahead.
Okay.
I think we're all equipped to do it.
Says, I think you got to enable the screen sharing.
Maybe
Okay.
Billy.
Just give me 1 minute. I'll get you.
Bill Buckley's
you'll get
at
it.
the screen and ready to go, I think.
You should be all set.
All right, thank you.
We see it.
can see that, okay. How about that?
Great, we can see it fine.
Okay, so this is our mission statement. You know, obviously, we're customer service oriented, right? People call 911 on the worst day of their lives typically. We want to treat each caller with empathy and respect. And we also want to make sure that our first responders are safe. And we take that very seriously here at the Holbrook Regional Emergency Communication Center. So just a little bit about us, a brief overview, and Deputy Milky will chime in during this as well. So currently we are serving the town of Abington, police and fire. We answer all their 911 calls. Canton Fire, Holbrook Police and Fire, we answer all the 911 calls. Rockland Police and Fire, we answer all the 911 calls. Sharon Fire and Whitman Fire, and we answer all the 911 calls for Whitman. Also, we are part of, we are the control point for Fire District 4, which is mostly made up of Norfolk County communities. That basically is, we are responsible for the coordination of mutual aid throughout Norfolk County on the fire service side. So if there's a large scale incident in any Norfolk County community, they contact us for the mutual aid, and we send mutual aid based on a predetermined run card or plan. So on these large scale incidents, we are kind of coordinating all the mutual aid out of here. This is a little bit about, this is our organizational chart. Obviously you have myself, the deputy director. We have a full-time IT coordinator, which is very important these days with all this new technology, administrative assistant. And we have groups made up, and we have groups with supervisors, and each group has 6 people assigned to them. So this year we are also adding a operations manager and a training coordinator. We're working on that in the next month or so to bring those positions on board.
And if I could chime in,
Sure.
and the operations manager position and the training coordinator position, those are something, those are positions that we have identified to be crucial components to our organizational structure. And beyond that, we're also seeking to add additional specialty positions. And these types of positions are something that we benefit from because we are a regional center. So with being a regional center, we are eligible for additional grant funding that standalone PSAPs or public safety answering points are not necessarily eligible for. And because of that, we're able to add positions such as these.
So some of the benefits of joining a regional center, and you know, these are starting to pop up throughout the Commonwealth. And I should probably disclose, I also sit on the 911 Commission. I represent communication centers throughout the Commonwealth. But some of the benefits to regionalization, you know, when we have new communities that are interested in coming in and they visit the Holbrook Center, you know, we say it's a better service, right? The regional dispatch service is better than a standalone PSAP, right? Because we have a lot more personnel, we have a lot more resources, and a lot more funding. It can save money at, you know, to a community, but we like to say it's a better service overall. So here, you know, here are some of the benefits of it: increased level of service and situational awareness. So, for example, you know, we dispatch a bunch of towns that are all contiguous. You know, if the town of Canton gets a fire, we can send that mutual aid right away because we're already dispatching some of those communities around it. So we have a well-trained team of 40 telecommunicators. And we have the opportunity, we're lucky that we have the opportunity to apply for some of these 911 grants. there's several grant opportunities through the state 911 department. They have the development grant, which is used to build and support regional centers. We have what's called the support and incentive grant, which is to support existing regional centers. They have a training grant, which we're very fortunate to have, so our telecommunicators can get the best training. And they have what's called an EMD, or emergency medical dispatch grant, which supports emergency medical dispatching programs, which is required by law in the Commonwealth of Mass.
And something else that we're fortunate to have is we have a really strong team of communications training officers. So, you know, we bring new hires, and each time we add a town to our partnership, we also bring in additional telecommunicators, and we want to make sure that they're trained properly. So we do have a team of fully certified, fully trained communications training officers assisting us in getting them up and running. So that's something that you might not necessarily see in a standalone dispatch center either. We're able to provide that additional layer of training.
One of the other things one of the other reasons why we stand out is we have a very large network of communications and connectivity throughout Norfolk County, Plymouth County, the Boston Metro Fire District area, Bristol County. So we reach into many communities, and you know, we'll get into a little bit greater detail about that, but that is one of the real reasons why we lead in the communications regionalization world. All of our systems are monitored 24/7 with redundancies in place. And that's something that a lot of these standalone PSAPs don't have. They're, you know, some of these communities, these smaller communities, when they have equipment failures and stuff, they're relying on us. They're asking for us to help them because they can't manage it. The other thing that we have is 4 COMLs, which COML is a communications unit leader. It's a FEMA designation. It's a specialty position. It's a trained. So these positions, these people can go out to in the field and coordinate communications at a large scale incident. And we have 4 COMLs on staff to respond to incidents. And some of those incidents that we respond to are automatic. So we'll have a COML respond to a second alarm migrator in Norfolk County, or a tech rescue, or a large scale hazmat type of thing, or a police incident where Metrolec or one of these specialized teams are dispatched for. So we have those resources in-house. One of the other things that we offer to our communities is radio design, engineering, and radio programming. So again, a lot of these smaller communities can't, you know, they have some funding to build out a new radio system, but they really don't have anybody in-house to help them understand what they need and what they're buying. So we can help them with that as well. So a little bit about the development grant. You know, we've been a regional center since 2008. The town of Sharon was the first town to join our regional center, and we're grateful for that. They really started us off. But back then there was no development grant. There was no funding. That was just basically an agreement between the town of Sharon and the town of Holbrook. Things have changed since then. You know, all of us on our cell phones and our landlines, we pay a $1.50 surcharge into the 911 system. So you'll see it on your bill, and that money goes into a pot basically, and that money's distributed through these grant opportunities. So over the years it has increased. So this year it's expected to be $30 million for the development of and support of regional centers. and that goes towards a whole bunch of things. So, and the 911 department has been very supportive of us. And, you know, we have, when a new community joins the Holbrook Regional Communication Center, or they want to join, they give us a letter, an intermunicipal agreement. And we go out and we assess all of their infrastructure, all of their communications, their IT systems, and we come up with a plan on what is needed, what upgrades do they need, what improvements do they need to join the regional center. So I give an example. We just added, and I know it's not a Norfolk County community, but we added Abington Police just a couple of weeks ago to our center. And, you know, after the assessment and of equipment and stuff that they would need, we went to the 911 department and asked for $750,000 worth of new equipment to bring Abington Police on board. So we were able to upgrade Abington Police's radio system. You know, they went from, and I don't want to get too technical, but they went from a standalone repeater system to a 6-site simulcast system with redundancies in place. We bought generators for their radio sites. They didn't have any generators. We put fiber in place. We put microwave in place. We upgraded their portable radios and the mobile radios. So that is the benefits of, that is some of the capital benefits of being part of a regional center. And there's no cost to the community for that. In addition to that, the 911 department has started this, what they call transitional expenses. So right now, what they're doing is if you're a community and you wish to join a regional center, they're going to give you 3 years free assessment. So basically 3 years free. The state 911 department will pay for that, and then 50% off of year 4 and 25% off of year 5. And that's in addition to the capital requests and the other things to keep the regional center in that community going. Sure.
And just to kind of reiterate on the transition expenses for the new communities, that would be if the PSAP is transferred here to our center. So you'll notice that we do dispatch some fire departments only, but the 3 free years of 50% off, 25% off, that's if the PSAP is decommissioned in a particular town and we assume the 911 call taking responsibilities.
Right. So, you know,
Would that be like, say, Holbrook, for example, has police and fire? Is that what you're talking about? Something like that?
no,
If
so
one, they don't have both, it doesn't count? Is that what you're saying?
So the goal of the state 911 department is to consolidate PSAPs. And what a PSAP is a public safety answering point. It's basically the equipment to answer 911 calls. That's their goal. So that's where the funding comes in, is to transfer that PSAP to Holbrook. So that equipment, so we answer the calls here. You know, dispatching the police and fire is, as well as taking the 911 calls, that's the best way to do this, right? Because everything is at one spot in-house. Over the years, we have, you know, some communities want to start off with just fire, and then the PSAP and the police department will come after. Some communities, they just want the PSAP or they piecemeal it. Some regional centers in the Commonwealth, they won't piecemeal. They want everything. The PSAP, the fire department, the police department. We find here that sometimes you got to take baby steps, right? It's a big move for a community to join a regional center. So sometimes it's okay if the fire department joins first or the police department joins first. So we are willing to do that. But the goal of the 911 department is to consolidate PSAPs, and that's where the funding comes in. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
So this is a little technical, but this basically gives an idea of our microwave system and our partners and our fiber connections. We really, when we built this building, our new facility, and the infrastructure that goes along with it, I'm a big redundancy guy, okay? Public safety should be completely redundant, and it should be automatic. So we have over 25 radio sites that we're responsible for to get this connectivity to communities. You know, there's a lot of microwave and fiber and switches. There's a lot of equipment in between here in the final destination. But this is just basically an overview of some of our stuff and how we do it. And primarily we do everything over microwave, and then we have an automatic system where it goes to radio. So theoretically, we should never be offline. Like we'll never go down, so to speak, on the radio side of things. This is just some of our microwave network that we have. And as you can tell, it's pretty extensive. This has grown with the addition of Abington. So there's some new sites that aren't on here yet, but we have a big reach into many communities already and many counties. Now, why is this important? Because, you know, when you set up microwave connectivity and fiber connectivity, you can do anything over this microwave. You can do anything over this fiber. So you can bring radio connectivity, right, which is important. And we bring in fire station alerting, right, which is important. And we bring fire CAD information, records management information. But there's so much more that you can do. Once you establish that connectivity in a community, you can bring over, cameras, intersection cameras or street cameras, cameras in schools. The town can use it for their own networking of IT stuff and computer stuff. So it's not just limited to what we do at the regional center. It can be expanded for the communities to do what they need to do on a day-to-day basis. And it also provides some redundancy. So this is a couple of pictures of our center.
Who's that guy?
So we started building this. So let me back up a little bit. Like I said, in 2008, we became a regional center, and we've been growing slowly over time. And we outgrew our space. The building that we're in was built for Holbrook Police and Fire Dispatch. We quickly outgrew that, and we petitioned the 911 department for some grant funding to build a new addition to our building. So it's a wing off of our building, but it's really only the communication center. There's one door that connects the Holbrook Public Safety Building to the communication center. We have a 6,000 square foot building that cost $8 million through 911 grant funding. And again, there was no cost to the taxpayers of Holbrook or any of the communities that we serve. It was all paid for by that surcharge that everyone gets on their phone bills. So we have a beautiful facility. We have people coming out to our facility to see what we have from all over the place. We've had people from New Hampshire, Connecticut. We actually have somebody flying out from Illinois at the end of the month to take a look at what we're doing here. So we've gotten a lot of attention. When we built the building, we upgraded all of our technology. We have all state-of-the-art technology. Everything is new, from the radio consoles to the computers to the telephone system. Everything in the building is new. And I told you I'm a redundancy guy, so everything in the building, and I wish I could bring you around to show you, but everything in the building is battery powered, battery backup, generator backup, and we have 2 generators. We actually have 3 generators here. Go ahead, Deputy.
Sure. And something that we really strive to achieve here is we really want to make sure that our dispatchers are taken care of. This is a really challenging job. It's a tough career. And this center was absolutely designed with them in mind. That we tried to make it as comfortable as possible, as user-friendly as possible, as ergonomically correct as possible. They have a full kitchen now that they didn't have before. There's a quiet room. We try to be progressive in that regard. If they take a bad call, they're able to step off the dispatch floor and recollect their thoughts for a few minutes. So that's something that we really tried to achieve. We asked for their input throughout the process. I think sometimes that they're, and potentially other centers that they don't necessarily get that same level of respect, and they're the most important part of this operation. So that's something that we really strive to achieve here.
We have a great team of people. People like to come to work here. We have 44 employees currently. The top 4 people have been here for over 100 years, probably 110 years at this point. When you come to the Holbrook Regional Center, you typically retire from here. A lot of dispatch centers have problem with retention. We don't here. People come here and they stay here because they enjoy the job that they have, and they enjoy especially the new building. So we appreciate that. So we ran through that, and there's a lot more to talk about, but I know you guys got a large agenda today. But I'll end by saying, we want to get the word out about our center. We have a lot of communities interested, and a lot of people have come by, and we've been in discussions with a lot of people. At some point, we're going to be full. So we have 12 dispatch positions here. We're probably the largest regional center right now. That's probably going to change, but right now we have 12 positions. We're using half. So we have room for a few more communities, and obviously we want to max out at what we have here. But I want to thank you guys for your dedication and support, and I think the deputy and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Absolutely.
Great, Stephen. Commissioners, I'm going to open this up to questions. I think we have a few more minutes. I have one quick one. Right at the end, you mentioned employees and their work. Are these employees full-time, public employees, and who do they report to? Are they members of the retirement system, et cetera, stuff like that, Steve?
Yep. So we have 24 or 25 full-time people right now. They work for the town of Holbrook. They're municipal employees, and they are part of the Norfolk County retirement system.
Okay, that's good. That's a good question. That's a good answer. Well, that is the answer anyway. Commissioners, any questions? I think this is excellent today, because regionalization is a big topic among the counties. We recently came together with Plymouth, Bristol, and Barnstable County on some of these federal funds. It's always being talked about, but we ourselves are looking closer at regionalization. And I want to compliment you, and I really appreciate Commissioner Stady bringing it to our attention. I do know 1 or 2 people that have worked there and had worked in other county places, so I know it's a desirous place to work. So I'm going to open it up to questions to the other commissioners right now without comment. Commissioner Stady.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Hook and Lauren, wonderful presentation.
Yes.
Great to see. And as Chairman Shea alluded to, it was great to have you in today. Couple of quick questions as follow-up. Is this program, or is a facility work for only towns that have, let's say, municipal police and of course fire? Municipal fire and police. What if you have a private ambulance? Does that kind of rule it out? Like, I know some communities in our county have private ambulance service. So would they be less likely to utilize this service?
So we are open to talk to anybody about dispatch services.
Okay,
What rules them out is they're not a PSAP, so there would be no grant funding opportunities for them.
okay,
So
That's
they
what I
would
wanted to
pay,
clarify.
they would have to pay directly, basically.
So like I know in Canton and Sharon and Stoughton, police and fire and fire department utilizes ambulance, and other places they don't. So that's my first question. Second thing would, real quick, what's the goal? Like how many more towns or communities? No, are you looking to obtain and would then max out at? Are you looking to get, is there a target? Are you looking to get maybe, I talked to Lauren about this too when I visited, but are you looking to get like another 10, another 20, or what's the number?
So I'm smiling because I get asked this question all the time.
Okay,
So the answer I give is, and not to be disrespectful to any of the small communities, but I'll use Avon as an example. We could do 10 Avons and maybe 1 Brockton. So it really depends on the size of the community, the call volume, because when a community is interested in joining, we have to do some analysis here. How many people, what's the call volume? What's the population? How much staff do we need to add here? How many positions is that going to take up? So it really depends.
right, okay. Obviously, big proponent of regionalization, you know that by now, and whatever else we can do to help assist you, we will. But again, fine job. I'll turn it back to the chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Collins, do you have any questions?
No questions. That was a great presentation. Norfolk County has had a history with regional dispatch for decades. And you said you've been around 30 years, so you probably remember that we were trying to drum up business for regional dispatch for many years. Jack Dacey out of Stoughton was a big proponent of it. He was our county director at the time. So we'll be happy to help in any way we can. I don't know what we could do to help. Last time I know we put money into it and it really didn't pan out. So if it's a non-monetary situation, I think we could probably do more. But if it's going to be money again, I don't know if it's going to make it through the advisory board again. We dropped a lot of money into it last time, and the advisory board was behind it, but then it didn't really pan out. So I think it might be a hard sell to ask our advisory board for any money on this.
So if I may, Mr. Chair, through the
Sure.
chair. So Commissioner Collins, yes, I was around back in those days. And if I remember correctly, we were looking at leasing a building at the old, the Mass Hospital School in
Oh,
Canton.
that's right, yeah, right.
Back in the day, and it kind of fell through. And that's really when it came to Holbrook at that time.
Right.
But
I remember that.
I
You're not
think,
looking- Steve, you're not looking for money. Are you looking for
Center,
money?
yeah.
Are you seeking funding or just awareness?
no, I think we don't need any funding. We're okay.
Okay,
I think what we need is, we would like the word to get out. We want you to go back to your communities and the
Right.
people, your constituents and say, hey, how come we're not doing this? How come you're not looking at Holbrook? And I invite all of you over for a tour at some point. You're more than happy to stop in. Any of your constituents, any of your colleagues. So please let me know. Let the deputy know, and we're very proud of what we have here, and we love to show it off.
that's
Okay, I have one last question. In Norfolk County, or down further, Bill Buckler will love this, further down county, towns like, well, let's say Bellingham, Millis, is there another regional entity like this in the county, or are you the guys the only one?
We used to be the only one,
Okay,
but now there are 2. There's one in Norfolk, and there's one in Foxborough. So Southeastern Mass, SEMREC, as they call it, Southeastern Mass Regional
okay,
is in Foxborough, and Metacomet is in Norfolk, and they both do 4 communities.
okay. That's very interesting to me. I'll get back to you on that. Thank you. Last call, and I thought this was terrific. And please feel free to, refer to us anytime, because I know all 3 commissioners feel that regionalization is really coming, and we're learning a lot just in the last year or 2, and we want to do more.
It's just a final comment, Mr. Chairman, if I could.
Sure.
I think the thing that by Stephen Lauren coming in, you're getting an audience today, but remember, a lot of our meetings are taped. They are taped, they're shown and looked at later on. And plus, even our advisory board members can be made aware of their meeting with us today. And again, in that way, we'll get the word out and help you the best way we can. So, maybe we'll have you come back some other time, give us an update, a quick update or something like that. But whatever we can do further your efforts, we're behind you. Again, as Peter said, though, don't look for any money, but I know you don't need that right now. Keep the good work up. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
All right.
very much. Okay, we're gonna go back to our item number 9 on old business on our regular scheduled agenda. Mr. Director, do we have anything under old business?
We do not.
Okay, number 10, personnel matters. We have 12 or 14 personnel matters at the agricultural high school. These are all notices of rate changes for some of our student workers, if I can describe them that way, because the minimum wage changed on 1/1/22. And we
Yeah, but
need to reflect that. I believe that's what this is about.
Right. To save time, with your permission, procedurally, I'm gonna make one motion and then list all the people and then I think the effective date, is all the effective date the same date too? I think,
1/1/22, and of course, we have a business manager here if you have any questions.
yeah, let's do that, if that's all right with you. I'm gonna make a
Absolutely.
motion that we approve the following, notice of rate change for the following individuals. John Collins of Foxborough, Emma Conway of Weymouth, Adeline Daly of Mattapan, forgive me, Nolan Doyle of Dedham, Maria Ferreira of Walpole, Erica Goldowski of Canton, Leah Gray of Whitman, Allison Ramos Chambers of Franklin, Nicole Reichert of Weymouth.
Whitman.
Whitman, sorry, Whitman, I'm moving my screen. Elise Ware of Auburndale, Mass, and Emma Webb of Walpole, Mass. These individuals will have the effective rate change as outlined in our paper, effective on 1/1/22.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to increase the student remuneration per hourly rate due to the minimum wage increase effective 1/1/22 for the 14 aforementioned members of our agricultural school students. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Thank you very much. Number 11, payroll and expense warrants for approval. Do you have a copy, Commissioner?
I
don't.
I didn't
Okay.
see one, sorry.
I'm going to make the motion and I'll read all of them. We do one at a time. I'm looking at the warrants listed for 1/12/22. First one is 22-28 is the county payroll. It's $141,858.66. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next is 22-2814, school payroll, $329,620.99. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is a vote. Thirdly, dated 1/1/22, county expense, $37,863.82. Do we have a second?
Aye. A second. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is a vote. The third one, make a motion, we pass 1/11/22 credit card payment for Wallaston Recreation Facility, $2,230.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is a vote. And lastly, dated 1/2/22, county expense, $83,292.48. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bill, can you make that, Billy, can you make that smaller next time? I just, you can barely see it. All right. Here we go. There it is.
That concludes the payroll expense warrants. We have a full meeting here today. If you have any questions today for Treasurer Bellotti, I know he is here, and of course, Assistant Treasurer Joe DeLauria is here, as he always is. But today's the day to ask the treasurer any questions. Once a month, we have Treasurer Day.
Well, Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
I can.
I think my picture is frozen. Is it frozen? I don't know, but
You look
I
great,
just
Mike.
thank you. Is it frozen though? It's like a
No, you're moving. Your lips are
Oh,
moving,
really?
baby. Everything else
Okay,
is frozen.
on my phone, I'm on the phone, I'm sorry, but I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for the support. Obviously for my first year, but in the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of COVID outbreaks, as folks know, in my office, and also in supplying the 10 COVID tests in my office. That was a big help and much appreciated. So thank you for always responding so quickly to the commissioners and Bill Buckley and John Cronin. That's what I wanted to say mostly.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Very,
thank you.
very
Jeff.
professional. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Number 12, bid openings at 1:30. We have none. Number 13, we're not awarding any contracts today. We have one scheduled for next week, though. So number 14, new website demonstration. As you know, recently we appropriated funds to redo our county website. Today, Director Cronin is scheduled to give us an update on the new website and give us a demonstration. So I'm going to turn it over to Director Cronin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You're accurate. The county commissioners have appropriated funds. A contract was awarded. The firm has been working over the last several months to develop a new website for Norfolk County. I will yield to Assistant Director Bill Buckley in just a moment. He'll bring up the shell of the proposed website, public-facing space. There's been there've been a fair amount of communication with the vendor to identify the type of format that we think is most friendly to the customers and people that will interact with us electronically. And we found that this particular reveal that Bill will bring up in just a minute is the easiest, most popular by chance type of website that we've found so far. Bill, if you could bring it up now.
That was a very exciting draw up. Commissioners, as you can see, this is what the shell of the front page will look like. And after we kind of move from top to bottom, I'll go down to an interior page. But unlike our current website, it's very sleek, and that County of Presidents will be moving across the screen as you open it. It'll write out County of Presidents. But from the data we received from the vendor, what residents are looking for are they're looking for drop downs. So if you see in the top here these icons, it won't necessarily say government, residence, business. We will populate that with the most important subject areas of public inquiry, and likewise below the picture here, which will obviously not be a nondescript river, but perhaps sites from across the county. We will take the parts of our website where people are looking the most, whether it be for minutes or postings or bid openings, and you can go with one click right to that part of the website as well. And as you go down, this front page will really have our latest news. Here you see 3 samples of that, as well as our upcoming consolidated calendar, which will be able to track any public meetings we have, points of interest, and the like. I will now go and show you what an interior page will look like. Interior page. Here we go. So likewise, for the interior pages, whether they be a landing page where you have a set of minutes, or a page that explains our ARPA proposal, or the treasurer's interior page, this is what they will look like. It's the same setup and color design. You'll have the title page here, and then whatever information we have, whether it be for HR or the like, and then contact information down the bottom, as well as a link to our YouTube page, and we'll put a link to our Twitter as well. So this is the general look of the site, and we're now at the point where we're pretty much finalized the look, and we'll begin building a site map, Mark and myself, in order for them to prepare for data migration, which will be when they take all of the things we currently have on our website and move them over to the new website, and then we can launch that probably in a 30 to 60 day time period.
Commissioners, as you see, this image as Bill presents it is commonly found on many public websites. I believe, was it North Adams, Bill, or Fitchburg, one of those Western Mass communities that we thought.
Yeah, if you go back, we took a pretty heavy sampling from the town of Adams, the city of Adams in Western Mass, especially this bottom part. We also looked at a Glencoe, Illinois, which was a community that had a very similar layout as well. This is sort of a mesh of those two.
We are still a couple of months away from completing the content behind each of these buttons, but that's a lot of work, and that's going to be consumed pretty much by Bill and Mark McDonald over the next couple of months working with the vendor. But we wanted to present you today some progress, and obviously obviously solicit any feedback you all may have.
Okay, I'm going to open it up to questions, but commissioners, do you have any questions at this time relative to this progress of this new website?
Yes, so if I could, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
So if I heard you right, Billy, that's the initial now look of the webpage, but you're gonna rotate in periodically or whatever, different pictures of different towns in the county? Is that what you're saying?
They'll slide, so there'll be 5 pictures behind this kind of top, and they'll slide through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking to micromanage, but I'm thinking, it would be nice to have maybe of one of the pictures, a couple of pictures of the president's homes who live in, Quincy, you know what I mean? I mean, you're calling it the county of presidents, maybe a couple of president's homes could work their way in there or something. I don't know, but whatever. I don't know what your thoughts were.
No, that's fair. I think we're also going to take some pictures of the Aggie, pictures of the golf course, pictures of Superior
Right.
when it's done, things of that nature.
And initially, the webpage had the 3 commissioners and I think someone else, right? Wasn't there 4 people on there? Now, where would that be found? In the government? Or are we being just X'd out? I don't know.
No, you'll have your own landing page and a welcome from you here, which will be expanded from what's here now.
Okay,
And we can also, because we have these new interior pages,
okay.
we can do things like put your full biographies on there and
Oh,
your new formal pictures as well. So
looks good. So you're gonna feature different tabs. We'll have Wallaston Golf Course and the
Correct.
Aggie.
All the departments, how do you get my son into Aggie, et cetera, my daughter?
well,
Yeah,
the Aggie and the golf course have their own websites as well as the registry of deeds. So we will have links to those.
link to it. Okay.
But this will be centrally regional service, HR, purchasing, the treasurer's office,
Good.
the commissioner's office, how to sign up for a notary, swearing in, things of that nature.
Does it have a brief explanation of our various departments? I know some of them have their own website, like the registry, and
Yep.
but what about the golf course and the engineering department? And I know Aggie has their own website, of course. But will there's a way to refer people to all these?
Correct.
I
And
mean,
just, I think it might be helpful. This is what we have now, and it's
Oh, that's it.
just-
Okay, yeah, right.
It's kind of
Those are all the links.
links, and
Yeah.
what we'll be able to do is streamline in such a way. So you see here, county administration and departments.
Right.
This is in a sort of older. Let me actually, town of Norwood. Norwood's website, I think, is a good explanation to show you his change. So as you look at when you drop down for departments, it's all right there.
Okay.
So you
Right.
these see how dense these drop downs are. There's
Yeah.
a lot of the data shows that when you're surfing, especially on your phone, and you're looking for something on a website, you don't want to click 9 times for something.
Yeah.
So here you hover over departments, it drops right down, and you can see a number of different opportunities. And I want to talk about public works. It's one hover, one click. Public works likewise in our new where it says government, it would probably say departments. We'll rename that, and it'll go right down, and you can just click and go to registry, treasury,
I like that.
golf
Yeah.
course, and the like. So it'll be a lot easier to navigate and a lot easier to search. and find things.
It makes sense. It does. It looks good. Looks good. Thank you.
And what's the ETA time to this will be up and running? man?
We're predicting about 30 to 60 days. Just a lot of it is migratory. They have to take all the posted minutes, all the documents we have, and rip them from one website and put them on another. But then the other thing is this will be a lot easier to edit. So if we want to say change the welcome message on the front page, or if the treasurer would like to add a couple of paragraphs about something he's doing currently, we can just it's a couple of clicks to do that. It won't require calling the vendor, expending funds. It'll be our website will be a lot more responsive, which I think is important.
Okay, last call. Any other questions on our draft or our new website?
Looks good. Looks good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Number 15, report on American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, Director Corona.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very briefly into this item, this week we have a request for the commissioners to consider a vote that will alter the percentage allocation that had been previously set at 25% of a community's award that can now be increased to 50%. So basically, when we started our program back in September, October, we recognized that many communities had not yet identified their strategies, their thoughts on how they were going to use their grant. Over the last several months, as you know, we've awarded several grants. We've had a fair amount of activity. I believe we have virtually every community now signed up in the portal. We've made progress on awarding approximately $1 million in federal money. And as we approach the second half of fiscal year 22 and come up close to June of 2022, when the county is expected to get the remaining 50% of its total award from the Treasury, we felt it was appropriate to increase the allotment guidance that is offered to the communities from 25% to 50%. Many communities, through their strategic thinking, will be using this coming spring as a time frame to establish projects that they would like to move forward with as they plan their various town meetings. So we feel very comfortable using the 50% guidance. It reflects the amount of money the county has on hand, and it gives the communities more flexibility in their planning as they approach the spring.
Okay, questions about this? So you're looking for a vote today
Yes,
to increase the minimum amount of the from 25 to
50%, the allotment guidance, correct.
allotment guidance. Okay. So we want to amend our original vote on the allotment guidance.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, do we understand this?
So,
John's explanation, I think it's in order. I know we spent some time on it, but
yeah.
ask any questions you want. I got mine answered this morning, but
Just, we amending it or revoting it? What are we doing here, Mr. Chairman? What do
This
you-
would be a vote to amend the allotment guidance associated with the American Rescue Plan Act for Norfolk County from 25% to 50%.
our original allotment guidance, and I can supply you with the date of that vote if we need it. I'll get it on the record here somehow.
So is that in terms of the guidance, in terms of what, for us, you mean? For us as a county, what we're gonna be getting?
No, sir, for the communities.
Okay. So,
The communities have been informed when we started this program that if they needed $1 million for a purpose, we would only allot them 25% of that grant.
oh, okay, I follow. Okay, I see.
Because we only received, we haven't gotten all the money yet. It's
Right.
coming in, we've gotten 50%, correct me?
Correct.
Right,
But we've realized, and in conversation with the other counties, we've realized that we're able to increase the awards based on, Our experience.
It gives the counties more flexibility
right, that's a better word.
to award
Okay.
resources to
no,
communities.
that's actually, I was gonna ask Treasurer Bellotti, Mr. Chairman, if we were expecting that second payment, when it was coming in, and, he left us quickly, but I also had a call yesterday from a member of the Braintree City Council. They're looking to file very soon. I know we're probably talking about this later, but they asked me, how come we're only getting 25%? So, yeah, that's fine. I'd make a motion that we adjust the allotment for the communities under the Opera Act to 50% as suggested by our Director Cronin. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to increase our original allotments ceiling for APTA money from 25% to 50%. All in favor?
Could I make a suggestion on that before I vote? That we
Sure.
perhaps notify our communities of that as well, that now they can receive up to 50%, not 25%?
That notice will be placed in the portal, Commissioner.
All right, great, perfect. Okay, all set.
Okay, that concludes that matter. Anything else on APRA for today?
No, sir, I just wanted to confirm to Commissioner Stady's point, we expect the second tranche of federal funds to arrive sometime in June of 2022.
Thank you, thank you.
That is all, sir.
Was there an official vote on that one, Joe? I don't know if we did a motion and second.
I
or final
kind of, I
vote.
broke up your vote, Mr. Chairman. That was my fault. I interrupted. But I think we have to vote that. We do need to vote it.
Okay,
Right,
Yes,
The
so
motion
Dick
made
made
and
the
seconded.
motion, I seconded the motion.
Right.
And you need a
to
roll call.
amend our original allotment guidance from 25 to 50% for APRA money.
right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Anything else on APRA today? No.
No,
It'll be on the portal. We'll notify the towns.
Correct.
Okay,
We have no awards this week. I still have 2 awards that are in the portal that are at phase 2, so I'm expecting to land in my phase shortly, but we're watching them.
thank you. Number 16, report on COVID-19 response.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Director Cronin.
I'm grateful John Wallace is here today to publicly thank him and the agricultural schools as they assisted the county in procuring 2 separate orders for COVID test kits. The first batch was ordered, received, and distributed to the top 3 communities in Norfolk County that had the highest rates of positivity. Assistant Director Buckley personally delivered them to the town halls within the last week. The second shipment arrived this week, and we've been able to distribute kits to virtually all employees of Norfolk County. On Friday, approximately 60 kits, I believe, were distributed to the Registry of Deeds, another 40 to facilities. Today, we distributed kits to our staff here in the Commissioner's office, as well as engineering and the Treasurer's office, as Treasurer Bellotti just indicated. The Wollaston Golf Course will be picking theirs up hopefully today. That will complete our task of distributing free kits with some instruction on how to administer them from the county to employees. We do have a small amount of kits still in our possession, which we'll distribute as needed, and we'll order more as needed. The funds associated with the purchase of these kits obviously were ARPA funds assigned to the county. So wanted to thank John, thank the agricultural school for helping us place that order. And we have successfully deployed virtually all of them at this point. Incidentally, with 2 commissioners being remote today, I just want to call attention, your kits are here. We'll be happy to distribute to them when we see you next.
I'm going to sell them.
You're going to sell them? Okay. But thank you very much.
Okay,
That is all I have on the COVID response.
all right. Earlier in the meeting, I referred to the business manager, I think is John Wilson. I do know his name is John Wallace, so I want to apologize for the record. Okay, we're going to move right along with number 17 is the report of the county director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a note, myself and Assistant Director Buckley are invited to attend the Norfolk County's managers meeting in Walpole next Wednesday, January 15th. Actually, I think it's the 19th. I have a typo there. We'll be attending, I believe, in person and then spiriting back to this meeting directly. The meeting is remote also. I believe they're zooming in some users. So I believe Commissioner Stady expressed an interest, and we'll make sure the host extends that invitation to you so you can participate if you wish remotely.
Thank you.
Let's see, Quincy District Court. The site assessment starts tomorrow. This was the second of 2 phases by the Department of Capital Asset Management to perform due diligence on the property. These are borings that will be done subsurface. Mr. McGowan will be coordinating that with the vendor. Also, DCAM is seeking the county's interest in appraisals. I've been working with our procurement director, Nancy Rockwell, to get some quotes to see if we have sufficient funds in our resources currently to secure that contract, or if it's something that has to wait till the next advisory board meeting in April. More on that later, but we're trying to work with the Commonwealth to keep their schedule such as it is. So We'll report back on that. Stoughton. So the Stoughton roof, as you all know, has been awarded to Ambient. And we had a call with their engineer, our engineer rather, an architect this week. Essentially, we're looking at approximately 5 more weeks before the steel associated with that bid is delivered on site. As you know, we're in the middle of winter, so they'll have to be mindful of conditions that will allow them to apply adhesive. So they'll hopefully try to get something done in early spring to complete the work on that roof. But everything looks in order. We, as you also know, have the rooftop units on site. So everything we believe we need is within reach, and it's just now a matter of time to receive the product. Let's see. Also, before you, Bill, if you could call up the FY23 budget timeline. Appreciate that. As you know, commissioners, we distributed the guidelines memo to departments last week. The budgets from the departments are due on February 11th. As a result, we do the timeline that we wish to publish associated with our work. Give me 1 second.
On the board.
Yeah, I just want to give you a copy, Joe. I would request a vote associated with this budget schedule that calls for the budgets to be due to the Commissioner's Office February 11th, budget reviews by the Commissioners on February 23rd, March 2nd, March 9th. The Commissioners vote on the FY23 budget on or about March 30th with the Finance Committee. On April 6th, the Finance Committee will meet, follow the following week, the Advisory Board hearing, and then May 11th for another Finance Committee meeting, culminating on May 18th with an Advisory Board meeting and vote for the FY23 budget proposal. June 8th is slotted as a capital budget vote for the FY23 capital budget. So, Mr. Chairman, I would request a vote by the Commissioners to accept this proposed budget schedule, and we will inform our friends in the Advisory Board and Finance Committee of the same.
Okay, Commissioners, do we understand this? And what is your pleasure on taking a vote to adopt this policy based on the budget schedule presented? It goes, of course, from this week and culminates hopefully on or about June 8th. We all know that some years we were here long after June with our budget, particularly the commissioners and Commissioner Stady being a Canton representative on the advisory board. But this is a list that, except for the end date, I think we're going to be able to manage, and I think we're going to be able to keep this schedule. But you'll notice the asterisk on the last day, just in case we have to go beyond. But as a way of notifying everyone and reaching out, that we intend to work with everyone and place everything on the table. Everything's, in my mind, discussionable through the budget.
So we, if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Sure.
so before we vote the schedule, John, I'm assuming, I hope correctly, that budget guidelines have already been sent out to department heads. I thought I saw that somewhere in my email, but just making sure that they're going to have appropriate guidelines in terms of what they can or cannot spend or, utilize. And also, what about the fact of this Abraham report that we spent a great deal of time on? And I know we went through our own departments. I know we did. And then we said, we're going to go back to that, later. We're going to use it later. Is this will be the time now as we go through the budgets to kind of roll that in as well?
Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, in my.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner State, excuse me. The point is well taken. Assistant Director Buckley is queuing it up right now. We prepared this spreadsheet that summarizes all of the recommendations of the Abrahams Group. This
Excellent.
particular document will be sent to you electronically. We also have it in written format. We will be asking the commissioners to review this and present their collective wisdom and guidance on which recommendations they wish the departments to focus on. And if through the chairman, we can discuss whether or not that arrives on next week's agenda for consideration by the departments as they prepare their budgets.
Okay, excellent. Okay. I have no further questions if you want a motion, unless Commissioner Collins wants to weigh in. But that's what the two things I was worried about. That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
I'm all set.
I think we should have adopted it. That, and your comments about the Abraham report are echoing that's the way I felt when I said anything and anything is discussionable. That's my point.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adopt the proposed budget schedule as presented by Director Cronin this day.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt the fiscal year 2023 Norfolk County budget schedule as presented at today's meeting by Director Cronin. All in favor?
Aye.
It is adopted with our fingers crossed. Thank you very much.
And through you,
What
Mr.
else?
Chairman, we will be bringing forward the content that Mr. Buckley just presented for your consideration at our next meeting. We'll discuss that agenda item with you, okay?
Cool.
Just a reminder, the Finance Committee is scheduling a meeting for next Wednesday, tentatively at 2:00. I think we'll be moving that a little later, possibly closer to 3 to accommodate the commissioners' meeting at 1. Employee mid-year evaluations have begun. As you know, the county commissioners adopted a performance evaluation system for department heads. We did the initial goal-setting meetings last fall. I've already begun the employee mid-year evaluations and hope to have them done by middle of next week. We received an opinion from council regarding a proposed unallowable expense by a department. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would like to submit the final version of this opinion to the department for their consideration and action. The copy of the draft has already previously been sent to all three of you individually to consider. So with your permission, I'll take the final version and send it over to the department head.
Do you request that you want to vote of the three of us or? I
It
think,
doesn't have to be a vote, just consideration, conversation, whatever you wish,
okay.
or consensus.
On this opinion written by our general counsel, Scott Lopez, relative to appropriation of one of our departments at last month that we'd like to get paid, can we forward it to the department? And what are your comments?
That'd be fine by me.
What's the, we have to do this. I just feel terrible. I really do for the vendor. I mean, it's just, there's nothing we can do, I guess, with the way that opinion's written, but let's see what happens. I would say, first things first, Director Cronin, what is authorized to deliver that opinion to
Yes.
the, okay, yeah, I would say, let's do that, and then let's see where it goes. But,
I'm good. That's good
Okay.
for me.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Aye.
Aye, too. Okay, you can send that over.
Thank you very much. That is all I have for my report this afternoon. Thank you, Commissioner Shea.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, before you close, were we gonna have counsel in next meeting too? Or, didn't we say we were gonna have legal counsel in for an
I did
update?
say we're gonna get legal counsel in January for the update you requested, similar to what we did with the Labor
Yeah.
Council last week.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I don't wanna crowd it too much. You got
Next week, it
FinCom
might be
coming
the
in.
week after.
Want to
as
put it
of
at the end
now,
of the month, or it doesn't matter. Just want to get an update. Is he definitely coming in next week, John?
We had not scheduled him. I heard your remarks last week. Attorney Lopez and I have not had a chance to catch up on
Yeah.
the status of litigation, but you did ask for a visit sometime in January. We're going to pulse him towards the back end of January.
Yeah,
And
maybe let defer to the chair. Completely chair's decision,
Okay,
but
I'm looking for the 25th. I don't think we can get it done for the 19th.
sounds good. No, it sounds good, Joe. Because you got the
Okay.
FinCom. You got budget things to do, and you got FinCom coming in. Let's
Right.
have him in at the end of the month. That'd be great. That'd be
The other
great.
thing, Commissioner stating, we were supposed to hear on technology updates from Mark McDonald today.
Right.
Unfortunately, he had to attend a webinar on a training that the county commissioners have engaged in. So he's got a collision of schedule. We'll likely hear from him in the coming weeks as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Mhm.
Good. Excellent.
Number 18, topics that the chair did not reasonably anticipate would be discussed. I don't have any. I do have some comments about a former employee who passed on this month, and it's going to be echoed more, but at the end of the meeting, I'll get to that. So is there any other items before we adjourn? Okay, seeing none. I don't want to adjourn without mentioning our friend, Attorney Joe McPowen, formerly of Braintree, Mass. Attorney McPowen worked in the county off and on but pretty much for the last 25 years. I think he left us 5 years ago. His last, and his favorite spot was, he was a counsel to the Agricultural School Board. Prior to that, Attorney McFarland had been general counsel to the sheriff in the 90s and the county commissioners on different labeling issues over the years. And I tried to pull together all his county service. It's in addition of over 20 years. He also had additional time in other communities and not throughout Norfolk County. But we all knew and worked with Joe McFarland, and he was a great professional and a great friend to everyone. I know a few of us are venturing down to Harwich for his wake and funeral, which is Thursday and Friday of this week. But I didn't want to adjourn this meeting without mentioning Attorney Joe McFarland, who was a great employee of the county and a great friend. And he loved, at the end of his career, working at the agricultural school. And I know that he left less than 5 years ago because I was on the agricultural board before he left. In addition to that, in the 70s, I worked with Attorney McFarland in the city of Quincy. So Joe had a long, long record with all of us. And we valued his friendship, and he gave good counsel to all of our department heads and past commissions. So having said that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning? Aye. This
Aye.
meeting is adjourned at 2:19.